Welcome. Today I have been thinking about those moments when you wonder if you're doing the right thing, and I've been thinking about how I check in with myself when I wonder that. And it was interesting to muse on, and I thought I would share kind of what was coming to mind for me, so that if there's anyone out there who wanted some kind of tips on how to check in with themselves, maybe this video could help. I also have been making a little oracle deck of my own just for a bit of fun, but I'll go through some options that you might want to look at later with that. Hopefully you'll find that fun. So sometimes, to put this in context, I think it's good to check in with yourself every now and then anyway. So I actually have some reminders in my calendar. So I have small reminders of if I'm doing the right thing that kind of ping up a couple times a week. And then I think it's once every 2 months I have a reminder that's like a full check-in, and it's like a Sunday afternoon, like late afternoon, when you're sort of winding down and you're thinking about the week to come. That's when my reminder for that comes up, and I've called it a CPD check-in in my reminder, which means continual personal development, but you could obviously call it whatever you want. If you did want to do that tip, you could ask yourself a question like, am I doing the right thing, or how am I doing, something like that. It's just to remind yourself to check. And I think we can accidentally get onto a kind of autopilot role and we can be like, we might set up a really great path for ourselves at some point, and we're on a mission and we're doing everything that we need to do for ourselves and for our purpose, or anything, whatever drives you. And then months and months can go by, and then you may find that you're on a path that no longer serves you the best. And it's very natural to do so. We do get tangled up in our roles, whether it's to do with our income or to do with our relationships, the people around us. We can sometimes go quite far down a path before we realise, is this the best path to serve me and to serve the people around me and the world around me? And so the first thing that I always do is I ask myself, am I doing the right thing? And I feel inside my body, how is my body feeling? Does it feel like there's an uplifting, an expansive feeling, which would be a yes? Or does it feel like it's closing in, it feels tight, there's tension, or it feels kind of heavy or something like that? That would be a no. And you'll get used to how your body specifically feels. If you don't ask it very often, you might not know right now. But the more you ask your body, like if you ask your body, tell me yes, you might feel something there that you can recognize, like a lift in your heart or something like that. And yeah, just kind of take a note of how that feels, and then when you check in, you'll be able to notice it more abundantly when you are just checking in with yourself. For me, myself, I'm a very visual person, so I actually decided to paint a good feeling. You can see all of that. So so when I am doing the right thing, this is how I think I feel on the inside. So I created something that I can look at and go, when I'm doing this, or when I'm being this, or whatever I'm questioning, does it make me feel like that inside? Does it make me feel like I'm in a haven of peaceful, natural environment where everything's just like floating in bliss? I don't know if you think that my painting does communicate that, but that was what I was aiming for. And it's just for me, okay, so it doesn't have to go on someone's wall. I'm not selling it or anything like that. It's just for me. And in its simplest form, you could do something like this, where it's just like a smiley face on a post-it note, you know, where just something that your brain can log that and go, yeah, that's a happy, peaceful feeling. It's not going to stand now. So that your brain can go, oh, am I getting the happy, peaceful feeling? Am I getting the smiley face on the post-it note feeling? Or it depends on if you are visual, what image represents to you something really peaceful. You may already have an image on your wall. It might be a painting, it might be something that you found online, printed off. It could be something so simple that makes you feel like that's the blissful feeling, the good feeling, the uplifting feeling that I am looking for. So definitely checking in with your body and feeling how it feels within your body. Obviously really severe signs of it being a no would be like if you're doing the thing in question and you sustain an injury or something like that, where your body literally stops you from doing it. I've had that before, where I've been in an unsuitable job role and I've stayed in the role for too long, and it became to the point where my body disabled me from going to that job, which was like a very, very clear sign. And it was very useful, but if I'd have listened to how I really felt earlier, then I probably wouldn't have gotten to the point where I'd have sustained that injury. But it is good to know that nature and everything around us works together to help us get onto a better path. So that's also something to notice, is if you have had a time in your life, or you might be going through it now, where a lot of things are being cut off from you and they're not aligning how you wanted, it is because there's a lesson to be learned there, that is probably not the best thing for you, even if you think it is at this time. You're being redirected to something that is going to be better in the long run. And if you think of, I don't know if anyone watching is interested in tarot, but if you think of, there's a point in the tarot cards, if you go through the deck, where you come to the tower, and it's where lightning is striking this tower, or there's some sort of storm or destruction happening, and the tower has to be completely destroyed so that to make space for something new to come in. So that, if something is being destroyed in your life, it is making space for something better, or the opportunity for that is there, of course. I have had times in my life where I have panicked somewhat and tried to either cling to what I had or set up something that isn't that different from it, and not aligning to something better. And then there's another wave of destruction where fate is saying, no, it's still not good enough, let's do something better. We're going to take this off you, because if you stay going down this path, it's just going to get worse. We want something better for you, let's go better. So other than your checking with your body, if any of you already do this, you'll know how valuable it could be. But if you write down your question in a journal and just kind of use, there's different words for it, like automatic writing. So you write the question first, and then underneath just start writing and see what comes out. There can sometimes be a lot of wisdom that is coming from inside of your soul out onto the paper, but it's maybe something that you couldn't access just in your day-to-day life, just going about life. So getting it out in that way, it just kind of makes space for that wisdom to come out. And it's something that no one else could tell you. It's something that just comes from your soul. and that's definitely a good reason to ask yourself and not someone else if you're doing the right thing, because they can only ever answer from their experience and their perspective. They cannot answer from within your heart and your soul. So journaling, which is a bit like speaking to yourself or speaking to your soul, for me is so helpful. It's one of the best ways. You may want to purchase something that has messages pre-written, or you may want to make something. So what I've done is I've made something. I do have a little tarot deck that I consult sometimes, but it can sometimes for me produce like a complex and nuanced message when I actually want something that's kind of more direct and quick, and especially if it's just like on a morning and I'm not sure, should I do this today or this today or this today, pulling something like a card from something like this can help me just take one step in the right direction potentially. When you're doing things like this, you might want to ask your soul or your, it depends what you are into, what beliefs you have, what language you use. You could ask your higher guides, you could ask your ancestors, you could ask God. You use language that works for you with your experience of the world. So I might call in my ancestors and say, can you give me a card to help me know what to do next today? If I give this a shuffle, I'm trying to do it so you can see. I have shuffled them a bit off camera first, but yeah, there's a couple come out. Oh, here's one. This one here, it's flipped out the right way up, so I'm going to take that to me my message that I need to. And this one says, I am free. Isn't that a lovely way to, so today is a Saturday, so I am free to do whatever I want today. That's a lovely way to think about it. So I thought it might be nice to shuffle for everyone watching. So if you want to pick a number between 1 and 3, so pick 1 or 2 or 3, and I'll pick a few cards, and we'll see which message resonates with you the most. They might all resonate with you, it might. So when I wrote them, I tried to go with some really nice positive affirmations, things that could be quite healing, that are maybe to do with self-care, things that for me would just give me a bit of a boost that day, or give me a message that will give me a bit of guidance, something like that. And you can see on the backs of all the cards, I've used pink and blue watercolour to make it like a set. So I just had A4 card, and I cut the A4 pieces into sixths, so that's 1/6. So I painted them all first with the colours, and then cut them into sixths, and then chose my messages on the back, which I've done in my little brush pens that I like to use. If you've watched any of the videos, you know that. And yeah, it's just a bit of fun for me. It's nothing professional, and it was more fun than just going and buying something that already exists, and this way I got to personalise it as well. So if you get any inspiration to do something similar, I would recommend it. I only finished it yesterday, but I've already enjoyed it a lot, and I was speaking to a couple of friends last night, and I pulled cards for them, and that was nice. It's just nice to do a personal thing for them. So I've actually made the pack just slightly too big for my hand, can you tell? But I can still shuffle them just. So I'm going to shuffle for pile 1 first. So if you have a specific question, then please feel free to ask it now. It can be in your head. You don't have to say it out loud or say it in the comments or anything. You don't have to share it. You can just say it to yourself. But your question may be, am I doing the right thing? Or it could be anything that you would like, basically. And we'll see what comes out for you. So for pile 1, oh, okay, quite a lot just fell down on my lap then. We'll see if we can get one that falls the right way up. Yeah, maybe that was one. Oh, here's one. This is amazing. It says, you're doing the right thing. Isn't that amazing? So I'll leave that one out. And pile 2, this is your time. If you want to ask your question, hold it in your head now. Oh, we have thank nature. So I think this is slightly open to interpretation, but you could this could say to you that you might want to write something about gratitude, gratitude to natural things, to nature. You may want to go out into nature, spend time with nature, and appreciate the. I mean, you don't even have to go out. I mean, like my houseplant here is nature, and like my pine cones that I'm such a fan of are nature, and you know, people are nature. You know, it depends who you live with, and things like that. And I think if I was going to thank nature, I would. I might go out into nature, but I would probably write a gratitude list of, you know, thank you to the plants that feed me and nourish me, the air that provides my oxygen, the water that keeps me hydrated, things like that. I really appreciate, and the visual aspects of nature, the beautiful flowers. It depends on what season you're watching this and what's going on with you, but things like that. And thank you to any part of nature that's ever helped me, healed me, sustained me, nourished me. But yeah, it's up to you how you want to interpret that one. It is, it could be an activity, or it could just be a very brief reflection without writing anything down, you know, anything like that. And for people who chose number 3, if you want to hold your question in your head, let's see what comes out. I'm not the best shuffler, you can tell, but I'm trying, okay. I have such tiny hands. I'm a very tiny person. For those of you who don't know me in real life, haven't met me in person. Okay, number 3, it's not coming yet, it's coming soon. 3. Keep holding your question. Keep holding your question in your head. Ah, there we go. Oh, that's interesting. It says, change your clothes. So that might mean you might want to change your outfit now. I remember when I wrote this one, it was because what I sometimes do is I get carried away doing something and I realise I haven't actually gotten dressed for the day. Like I'm still in pyjamas and I'm not wearing day clothes. Or sometimes the other way around, where I'm still doing things and I actually need to get ready for bed and I need to take myself to bed. And change your clothes I thought was a good prompt for both of those. But also this could mean something more metaphorical for how you appear to the world. Obviously you can feel for if this feels right for you. It could be about what clothing do you wear out in the world, metaphorical clothing, how do you appear to the world, are you being your authentic self? And it could mean literally your clothes, like do you need some new clothes? Do you is what you're wearing suiting you, or are you dressing for someone else? And maybe you could do a bit of inspiration hunting, a bit of window shopping they call it, don't they? Or there's loads of, because I'm very, very into sustainable fashion. I've found a lot of really amazing YouTubers who will speak about vegan fashion, sustainable fashion, and things like that. And if you search for the right terms, you can really go down a rabbit hole with finding really inspirational places. Another place that I look at is called Good On You. It's a directory of clothing and some homeware and other sort of stuff brands, and you can search by category. So if you need a new coat or something, you can search coats. You can search by your geographical area of the world, so that you know that your clothing isn't being shipped too far. And you can search by terms like vegan, or it depends what your personal interests are in fashion. And then you can find some really great new brands. I've used Good On You for a while now, and I've found amazing, sustainable and really caring brands near me that pay fair wage to everyone involved in their supply chain, and things like that. And they use materials that are really nice on the skin, because I'm quite sensitive. I like to have natural plant-based materials. So but you need to find what's right for you, and this is suggesting that you could do a bit of research on that maybe. But it depends how you take your message literally, doesn't it? This is really interesting that this one came out first, that you're doing the right thing. And these are just so beautiful messages. You could all take on board. You might not have chosen a number, but I hope that's nice. I wonder if should we do one more, just for one card for the collective of let's see, one message for us all, me included. A nice message for the day. Let's see. If you want to ask a specific question, again, please do ask a specific question. But I'm asking a message for the collective for today. It also doesn't matter what day you're watching this, it will just apply to the time that you're in at the time that you watch it. It doesn't have to be today. The day that I'm filming, I mean. But today, the day you're experiencing it. Okay, oh, nice. It says, talk about it, communicate. That's a nice one. So whatever you've asked, chat it out. If it's to do with a relationship with any specific person, then this is maybe a prompt to speak to that specific person. If it's something that's not to do with any other particular person, then you may want to just find a trusted friend who would be happy to speak. Or, as we were saying earlier, we could journal. So it depends depends exactly what you asked and how you might want to communicate and things like that. But this is quite a nice one about sharing your voice as well, which is something that I don't get around to doing that often, and I can be quite private and quite closed. So whenever I share a video like this, it's because I've had a bit of a nudge from the universe to share something, because I'm not naturally very overt in my character. So I hope that's helped you think about if or when you're doing the right thing, and maybe given you some ideas, a bit of inspiration for today or soon. And if you have kind of other things that you do that you want to share in the comments, then please do. I'm not online a lot, but when I am online, I would love to see what anyone would like to share with me, and any reflections that have come from that, if you feel like sharing. But obviously your privacy and your personal care is paramount, so only share what you're happy with. Yeah, have a lovely rest of your day, rest of your week, and I'll see you in another video, which may take me weeks to do, or it might be soon, who knows, depending on me being brave enough to share my own voice. You take care, and I'll see you later.